My name is Nixxiom, and a few years ago, I weighed over 300 pounds. And you know what? Being fat kind of sucked. So I set a goal and I said that I was gonna lose 60 pounds in 1 year. And you know what? When it was all said and done, I lost 90 pounds in that time. Unfortunately though, I have recently put back on all that weight over the past few years. Being involved in business, dealing with drama behind the scenes, you know, life happens. And so I'm on the exact same weight loss journey again. I am trying to lose 60 pounds within 1 year, and I'm inviting you all to come with me on the journey. But I got messaged a couple of times behind the scenes ever since I put out my first video. People asking me the question, hey, you've lost a lot of weight before. What advice could you give to me as somebody starting this journey for the very first time? And guys, that is what this video is all about. I'm gonna share with you all my 3 big tips for losing weight if you've never gone on the journey before. And I will say that it's very likely that you've heard tips number 1 and 2 before. I'm gonna elaborate on them a little bit and share some new info, but tip number 3, that's the one that you guys need to stay for. Let's start by talking about tip number 1. And for this first tip, I have decided to bring you guys to a very special place, and that is right here in this area over there. We're in the middle of the summer in North Carolina, and everything is overgrown. But you can see that this area, if you could imagine there was no overgrowth, you could actually sit on that log out there that's currently surrounded by a ton of greenery. I'm bringing you guys to this location because it has great significance and importance to me. It was here in this spot, seated on this log, that I used to spend a lot of time with my friend, Michael. Michael is such an awesome guy. He encouraged me to get into blacksmithing for the first time. He taught me how to make mead, and we would often come out here into the woods, sit here, relax, go on a little hike together. But Mike had a problem. You see, as you can tell by these photographs of him, Mike was a very big guy. In fact, at his biggest, Mike, I believe, weighed over 600 pounds. But this man would not stop moving. He would never stop putting one foot in front of the other. He was always ready for a new adventure, and we would often come out here to sit in this place after taking a little hike, and we would talk out here, discuss things, whatever, and it was great. Mike was the one who got me to go to the gym for the first time. I was nervous, I was scared as like a 300-pound person, and yet he was willing at 600 plus pounds to go to the gym to work out, and he said, come with me, let's go together, and it was amazing. That was such a huge moment in my weight loss journey. But here's the thing about Mike. Mike was losing weight for a while, and then one day he decided to stop. He quit working out at the gym, he started eating fast food again, he put back on the weight that he had lost, and one day, while staying over at his parents' house, his mom and dad went to wake him up in the morning for this event they were going to, and he was dead. One of my best friends had died in his sleep at his parents' house in his old bedroom. My friend might be gone, but one of the things that we used to talk about all the time out here as we were changing our lives together is we talked about my first piece of advice to share with you guys, and that is little changes lead to big results. The reality is the person that you are today, the lifestyle that you are living is not compatible with the goals that you want to meet in the gym, in the mirror, whatever. If you lived an active lifestyle, if you were out running each day, if you were going to the gym, if you were doing things, you would look the way that you want to look. But the reality is that's not the life you're living. And as you're probably well aware of, we are creatures of habit. We make habits all the time, whether it's brushing our teeth, eating certain foods, eating at particular places, whatever it might be. We're designed to create habits. And so what we need to do to start is we need to start breaking the negative vices, those negative habits that are holding us where we are at. And we do that by making little tiny changes. When I first started my first weight loss journey, I remember I pulled up to McDonald's and I used to always get 3 McDoubles, a large fry, and a large soda. And I remember that lady came on the intercom and said, what do you want? And I said, give me 3 McDoubles, a large soda, and a medium fry. And it started right there. Unless you have a horribly traumatic experience, you are not going to go from being a fat slob to being this athletic, outdoors, running around, hyperactive individual every single day. But you can become that person. But it starts with little tiny changes. For this weight loss journey, I have been cutting out all my sugar drinks. I started by cutting out soda. I cut out energy drinks. Now I'm not even drinking coffee anymore. not even black coffee. I want 100% pure natural energy. The only thing I'll drink now is water and Gatorade. That's it. Start by cutting things out of your life that are negative vices that are holding you back. Sugar drinks, certain foods, fast food, pornography, whatever it is, whatever's keeping you where you're at in your life, start cutting them out. And then for your second step, start adding things slowly. I'm gonna walk my dog once every day. I'm going to take a walk in the park once a week. And that is my first piece of advice. Little changes lead to big results. Don't try to change too quickly. Let it be a slow process over time. And you know, that leads me to tip number 2. So here's a big shocking revelation that's gonna piss off every fitness YouTuber that watches this. Not everybody likes going to the gym. When I first got into the gym after Mike got me to go, the first week or two, yeah, I had a great time. But after that, you know, you kind of just fall off of it for a bit. My relationship to the gym, just like many people's relationship to the gym, is go for a little bit, stop, go for a little bit, stop, and so on. My second piece of advice to everybody watching this is that you do not need to marry the gym in order to lose weight. For myself, the majority of the weight that I lost was just by doing things that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed hiking, just like I'm doing right now, and so I went hiking. I enjoyed riding my bike more than running on the treadmill, so I started riding my bike around the town that I lived in. Eventually that turned into mountain biking. Eventually mountain biking turned into blacksmithing. Blacksmithing turned into shield making, and on it went. Any sort of physical activity that I enjoyed that got me to use my arms, my legs, whatever, my core, I did it because I enjoyed it. And yes, of course, there were moments where I would go to the gym and I would lift weights and stuff, and it was awesome. But you know, the most important thing, and this is what tip number 2 is all about, it's that losing weight is a journey. And you want to enjoy the journey and not just look strictly at the destination. If you can only look at the destination, where you want to be, rather than where you're at right now and how you can have fun with it, you're never gonna make it, because losing weight and going on that journey is just gonna feel like a giant grind and a struggle. Yes, we go out and climb mountains because it's challenging and it tests us and it makes us feel like men, but we also do it because it's fun. Find new ways to enjoy the journey. Start biking, start running, start climbing, start swimming. Whatever it is you can come up with that keeps you active, do it. And remember, make these changes very gradually and slowly over time. And lastly, this brings us to tip number 3, the most important tip of them all. And the tip that really, if you don't understand this tip, the other 2 tips don't really mean much, or rather, maybe you'll apply them, but only for a temporary amount of time. One thing that can just be an infinite source of inspiration and motivation to do all sorts of things, be them small or large. The great motivator, the thing that'll keep you going, whether you feel down, whether you feel up, the thing that'll keep you inspired and motivated on the hard days, as well as the good days, is simply really, truly learn how to love yourself. And not love yourself in the way that people say nowadays, indulging in pleasures and nonsense and allowing yourself to do whatever it is you want to do in the moment, those subjective, fleeting emotions that don't mean anything. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about genuinely willing your own good. St. Thomas Aquinas says that love is simply to will the good of another, and we are called to love ourselves. And that means that we should be willing our own good every single day. When we look in that mirror and we see that person looking back at us, we should say to that person, yes, you can. Whereas everybody else will say, no, you can't. When times get hard and we're struggling with motivation, we can sit and say to ourselves, it's okay, take a break, and not feel ashamed for being human. Give yourself permission every day to love who you are and what you were made to be. Your muscles were made to delight in their strength, so let them lift weights and let them walk miles. Your mind is the greatest supercomputer on the planet. Let it delight in learning new things and solving new problems. Let it delight in looking at itself every now and then and asking itself, Why do I act in this way? But not to the point of despair or stagnation. Delight in your mind. Delight in the body that you have. Delight in your spirit and your opportunity to come out to places like this and just be at peace. If you're trying to get that goal accomplished, whatever that goal is, learning to love yourself, to be hard on yourself if need be, to push yourself towards those things that are difficult and hard, but you know that you need them and you know they would be good for you. And so you say, let's go, let's do it, let's grab that opportunity, let's grab that goal, let's climb that mountain. It's just the beginnings of joy, I guess you could say. And it's after you've learned to love yourself that you truly begin to love the people around you all the more, and all the things that they are blessed with, the talents, the skills, the knowledge that you don't have. It is wonderful. Speaking only for myself, I'm not going to the gym to impress a woman. I'm not doing business because I want to make $1 million and build a giant empire for my own ego. I do these things because they're enjoyable, because they're fun, because they're good for me, for my family, and for my friends. Because I know that if Mike was here in these woods like all those years ago, he would stand here and tell me to do the exact same thing, because he wanted nothing but good for me. And I hope that you guys can learn to start willing some good into your own life, starting with just maybe losing a couple of pounds. My name is Nixxiom. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you on my next one.